So let me officially welcome you to our session this evening on all you need to know about the Rotary Learning Center. My name is Leah Craig-Chatterton, and I am the Learning Facilitator for District 7030. Rotary International provides us with a wealth of information and tools to carry out our goals as Rotarians and Rotaractors alike, and all of the Rotary family. What we're here to do tonight, and we'll hear further from our presenter, Kim, is how we can access these tools and turn what the RI has spent thousands, if not almost millions on, how we can translate that to help us be people of action. So to give us our opening remarks this evening, I invite David Kirkhardy. He is the District Governor for District 7030 to officially kick us off. David, over to you.
Thank you, Leah. I appreciate that. And it's a pleasure to be joining you from the very best district in the Caribbean, District 7020. We can discuss that at the end in the question and answer session. It's an absolute pleasure to be on the call this evening and to introduce our resource today to give us some information on what I think is one of the most underappreciated and underused resources in the Rotary ecosphere, the Learning Center of Rotary International. I know as a district governor that I could not be doing what I do if it were not for the learning that is available freely for any Rotarian to access. I also know as a district governor that so many people do not avail themselves of that resource. And I'm enthused today to see that we had a large sign up. I hope as many people signed up as join, and that we have an absolute expert in this area to talk to us today. So you didn't come here to hear me expound on the virtues of District 7020 or perhaps the Learning Center, but it is my absolute pleasure today to introduce to our audience Kimberly Kawame, is the Learning and Resources Manager in the Learning and Development team at Rotary International. She is responsible for overseeing Rotary's Learning Center, the development of online courses, and the leaders' guides that you'll find. Kimberly is also a certified professional in talent development and a member of the Association for Talent Development. It's a professional membership organization that support those who help others achieve their full potential by improving their knowledge, their skills, and their abilities around the world. And I know that by the end of our session today, she will help to improve your knowledge, skills, and abilities with access to the resources that are available on the Learning Center. Kimberly, welcome to the call.
Thank you so much, David. I'm very excited to be here with you all today. As I go through, I'm going to be sharing my screen. If you have multiple screens that you're in front of, feel free to follow along with us here as we go. And like we said, use the chat to ask some questions and feel free to interrupt as I go. So to get to the Learning Center, you need a My Rotary account. So I'm hoping that most of you do have a My Rotary account. If you don't, there is, when you go to sign in, so here's my account. This is where I would sign in. Just create an account. One of the things that you want to make sure you do when you create an account is use the email address that your club has on file. If you pick a whole nother email address that you're using, you're going to create a non-Rotary account. So you want to make sure that your club has the most up-to-date email address that you want to be using for this site. And use that, because once you use the email, it'll be connected to your club. And so once you get into My Rotary here, you can tell that I'm not a member because this is my profile here. If I was a member, there would be two boxes that would say, have my club name and my district name. And that's how you can check if your profile is set to your member profile or not. And if it's not, there's an easy fix. We are happy to help anyone who comes across this issue. Just email us at learn@rotary.org and we can help direct you to the right place. And if you scroll down here, you can see all these boxes. These are some of our online tools that are available to all of you on My Rotary. So if you're applying for a grant, if you want to look at reports, we have brand centers. So opportunity to create your club logo, Rotary Showcase if you want to see what other members are doing around service projects. And then finally, in the middle here, we have the Learning Center. So once I click into the Learning Center, it's going to take me to the home page or the course catalog. And I'm just going to minimize this. It just takes a second. Let's see if I can move this bar. This is what I want to do. Okay. And this is our course catalog page. And if you've been here before, you might notice it looks a little different. And the slight difference here is that our homepage is now more accessible for anybody using a screen reader. It will tell you exactly where you are on the page. So we are working to get all of our content more accessible, but our interactive learning modules are pretty accessible currently if you are using a screen reader. So all of our courses here are organized by topic, and then if you scroll down, they're organized by language. We offer courses in over 20 languages. And so here, by topic, one of the course, now I will say that this view, you probably won't have these 3 catalogs here because what's really great about this site is it's customizable. And so for our general members, you're going to see just these catalogs here. And I'm going to go into a couple of them. We're going to look at the club leadership one. I know one of the courses was, what courses do we have available for club officers? So you can see we have club administration, membership, club president. We have 2 learning plans for club president, club public image, foundation, secretary, service projects, and club treasurer. So these are all learning plans or a series of courses. You can see here on the bottom, it says learning plan for club treasurer, and there's 8 courses in here that take approximately 2 hours and 45 minutes. It really depends on how quickly you go through each course. And then here you can see this is an e-learning. This is one individual course that takes about 15 minutes to complete. So this is what we recommend for our club officers. And then there are some standalone courses that you can take as well. I'm going to just go into this Club President Basics here. Now, all of our courses are built for Rotarians and for Rotaractors. So some of these courses will make a caveat if something's not available to Rotaract at this time. And other places, it's the same for both. So feel free to take these courses to prepare for both Rotary clubs and Rotaract club officer roles. So this is what a learning plan looks like. When you enroll in one, if you've taken a few courses before, you might see some of these courses marked as complete. Once you complete a course, it's always going to be marked as complete, which is really nice. So you know what you've taken and what you haven't. So let's go into one of these courses. This is Get Ready Club President. And you can see here, I started it. I completed 2 items. That's why there's blue check marks. And I haven't finished this orange check mark. So let's just click on these interactive learning modules. And so this is what it's going to look like. You're asked to do some interactivity. So here you need to click through and learn more. And sometimes there are quiz questions and ways to just get more information. Here's a little quiz, match the responsibilities by dragging them to the skills. So you just click and see if you got the right answer. And then you can keep doing this, take it again and again until you get it right. Every single course we offer has a course evaluation. And what's really great about this is you can take this course, and if you think that we were wildly off on our content, you can answer the survey and tell us what's wrong with the course. Don't feel like you have to answer this course evaluation every single time, but do know that if you just click the button, click the word course evaluation, it's automatically going to give you a blue check mark and mark it as complete. So you want to do that so your course does show complete. But if you don't choose to fill out all the answers, that's fine too. So if it gets to be a burden, please don't feel free. Don't feel like you need to respond to the survey every time. But for sure, if you have some real solid quality feedback for us on how we can improve, we definitely want to hear that. And then on the bottom here, you'll notice our course description. And this says that this course was updated in February of 2023. So if you've completed this course before and you come back today and one of the items isn't marked as complete, that just means that's the item that we updated. So it's really easy for you to know what has changed and when it changed. So you're not constantly looking at these documents wondering, did I look at this already? It's all there for you. All right. Now I'm going to go and explore a little bit of some of these other pages, right? So these were our course catalogs. This is where you can find all the courses you can choose to enroll in. Now we're going to go to the My Dashboard page. And this page is going to show us the courses that you've personally enrolled in or someone like me has enrolled you in. And you can click any of this blue text here. So this is going to bring you to a page to view all of your courses. And you can use your filters here to search. You can search e-learning versus learning plans. You can search by topic or by language. And that'll help narrow all of your options down. On the right here, we have badges and leaderboards. So every time you complete a course, it feeds into these badges. So you can get a badge for completing the first course, and then every 5 courses after that. Once you get to about 200 or 100 and about 100, we go in increments of 25 because we really don't have that many more courses. And it does stop at some point. So if anyone's interested in taking all the courses in all the languages, you will stop earning badges at some point, I assure you. I do not recommend it, but there are some that have done that, which leads me to leaderboards. And here you can click this little down arrow to see your district leaderboard and your overall leaderboard. Like I said, the overall leaderboard, there is about 20 people who have taken every single course in every single language. I do not recommend it. So if we view the full chart, though, you can see, hopefully, your zone report. So you can hopefully see yourself on one of these 2 reports. They only show the top 10 ever. So here we can see the zone. So if you're not, this shows me as number 35. It'll tell me what my place is, but it won't share my place with others. So the next, I want to take you to explore some learning topics. Learning topics is our social learning feature. This is a really great space. I'm super excited about this because this is like a social feed, right? So on the right here, you can see what's new and what's been added and what kind of discussion is going on. And on the left here, you have all your topics. Now, I have all the topics possible. So let's just take a look at this one, Polio Plus Resources. Here I can click on this blue text and be taken to a page with resources related to this topic. Now, these take us to some other websites. And this page is only staff is updating the content here. But if we take a look at Rotary Learning Facilitators, you can see this is a little bit more dynamic. We have some members posting some information. So if you have a presentation or some training materials that you think would be good for others that you want to share, maybe you have an Excel spreadsheet that's a great template for budgeting, or maybe your club made a video and you just want others to see it. You can share those here. So on the right here, you can see this little arrow pointing to the side. This is share content. You can share a link to a website or a video, a file, or you can record your screen. And I'll just do this really quick. It's very simple. And then on the bottom, you click next. And then you just need a title. And usually I just copy the title into the description because the description is required. And you hit next. You could upload your own image if you wanted to. And then you're going to tell it which topics you want this item to be included in. And it'll only give you the topics that you have access to. So you'll be able to choose where you want to put that. And I'm just going to hit cancel here and delete. But here, it's really great. You can see how many people, when this was, who uploaded it, how many people downloaded it, when it was uploaded. You can give it a 5-star rating. You can, on the top right here, you can add it to a favorite list, right? So like there's a lot of resources here. You can get lost really quickly. So if there are some things that you really like and you want to get to quickly, you can create a favorite list. These are all my favorite lists. I can just add this to one of the existing ones, or I can create a new one. I can invite people to view as long as they've been to the Learning Center, and I can download this to my own computer and save it. But what's also great about this is you can ask a question or give feedback. So we can have a discussion on some of these topics. And I'll show you where all of the questions are in a minute. But this is our social learning feature. And like I said, if you have something to share, we'd love for you to upload it and have others take a look at it and see if they want to use it. So the next page on the list here, so here's our menu, is the My Favorites page. So this is what the My Favorites page looks like. And this page is going to include anything that you have personally uploaded to the Learning Center. So if you upload something, it's going to appear on this page automatically. And then you can see, I'm just going to filter here by type and filter by my favorite lists. So you can see here, I have 2 items. Well, let's see. Favorite list. Here's 2 items. This is only available to me. You don't really need to share these personally. But here's one document that I want to reference, and then I have this other social post. So I can toggle using this blue bar at the bottom between the 2 items. And I can add as many things as I want in here. So that's our favorites. And then finally, we have question and answers, right? So you saw in those materials that you upload, you can ask a question. And if you wanted to see all of the discussion on the site that you have access to, you can come here. And you can also filter by topic. So if we just wanted to look at, let's see, there's so many. Let's see, diversity, equity, and inclusion. Let's see what that says. And you can see here, this person asked a question, another member responded, and I also responded. And you can like the answer or dislike the answer. And anybody can respond to any of these. So you can have quite a long chain of responses. And that's how I would navigate this. You can also go over here to this little graduation cap in the top right corner. If you click that, you can ask your own question. And then you can assign it to a topic. Finally, I want to show you our last page. This is our My Activities page. This is where you can track your progress. This is just an overview of how many courses you've done. But on this panel here, you can go to your Courses tab. And this is going to show you which courses you've completed, are in progress, and enrolled in. It'll give you your dates, how much time you've spent in there. And you can see this one's completed. So this black ribbon all the way to the right, if you click on that, it's going to pull up your certificate. So you see it downloaded up top here. And now I can download this to my computer, or I can choose to print it but that's where you get your certificates. Now, you also, for learning plans, you can get your certificates here as well. So here's an interesting fact. This club membership committee basics learning plan, you can see I completed it at some point, but it's only marked at 75%. So at one point I probably completed this, and then we added a couple of new courses, and I haven't completed those courses yet. But this certificate is always going to have the same completion date no matter when I finish those additional courses. So that's just something to note. So one of the things that we do is if we need a course to be taken annually, we close the old one every year and we post a new one. And we do that mostly for our grant management seminars. And as of July, we're going to start doing that with our youth protection courses, where we're going to close down that youth protection course to freeze that data. So you'll always have that certificate for that course. But moving forward, we're going to have a course published, brand new course published every single year, because that's content we want you to be taking over and over again. And again, you can see your badges here, just another way to view them. And you can view your points. So that's the high-level overview of the Learning Center. I know I wanted to get to a couple of the questions before I open it up. And somebody had asked if there was courses on Rotarian action groups. So I'm going to go into this district leadership catalog. And if I scroll down, these are all in alphabetical order. So I have Rotarian Action Group Basics here. So there's going to be a Get Ready Rotarian Action Group Leader. That's going to be the most specific to that role. And then all the other courses are just important courses that relate to policies that should be followed if you're holding that role. I did get another question on club governance. We do have a few courses about working with club leaders and working with district leaders, and that's, I think, about as close to governance as we would get. Let's see, in the Club President Basics, we have working with your club leadership team. I would say that that's a good course to check out. So I really want to open this up to all of you to ask questions and to hear from you what you want to know. So feel free to put in the chat.
Okay, great. Thank you so much, Kim, for that detailed presentation. We do have a few questions that came in when persons registered. So I'll now invite Monica to kick off the Q&A session, reaching for our banked questions. We start off with those, and we encourage persons to place their questions in the Q&A so that we can get to them during the course of the Q&A segment. So look for the Q&A box on your Zoom link at the bottom.
Thank you, Leah, and thank you, Kimberly. One of the questions that we had from one of our one of the persons online is, what is the best way to navigate the Rotary Learning Center?
Yeah, I think having an idea of what you want to do in here, whether it's you're coming to look for role-based courses, those are all going to be in your club leadership and district leadership catalogs, or if you're looking for some more specific topics around fundraising, service, or public image. Finally, we have like a huge catalog for professional development. So if you want to practice developing or delivering a speech, or work on facilitation skills or some DEI related courses, this is the place to go. So really think about what you're hoping to learn from it, and then try to look for your courses that way. We do have, I think you shared on here, the course catalog. So looking through that course catalog could help narrow your search down before you enter here. But really just going through the courses that interest you and taking the courses that are most important. So if you're a club leader and you're overwhelmed by your learning plan, just look through the list of courses and say, where's my largest knowledge gap? Let's start there. So if you don't get to everything, at least you're getting to the courses that are increasing your knowledge the most.
Thank you, Kim. As a follow-up, Kim, what about the use in the Learning Center, not just on your desktop, but also on your mobile device? Can we hear a little bit about that, please?
Yes. So if you want to try to use your mobile device, you have to have come to the Learning Center once before on your desktop or laptop. So once you've come here and seen these pages, it creates an account for you. Once you have that account created, then you can go to your mobile device and you're going to want to go to Rotary and sign in and then select the Learning Center. And you're always going to want to go in this way. If you've never been to the mobile app before, it's going to ask you to download a GoLearn app. And once you download that, you're going to come back to Google Chrome and continue in My Rotary to get to the Learning Center. But absolutely, you can use the mobile app. It's just a matter of creating that account. And it's a little bit of an awkward experience, and we are working to improve that. So do look out for communications when that comes.
Thank you. I'll turn it over to Leah for a few questions.
It looks like you're muted.
Yes, I forgot I was muted. Thank you for that. So we do have an interesting question from Liz, and I think this is probably at the forefront of a lot of club trainers and learning facilitators' minds. How can we get more Rotarians interested in visiting the Learning Center and using the tools available there?
Yeah, you know, in our course evaluation, I don't think we have this question anymore, but for a while we had the question is, how did you hear about this course? And overwhelmingly, they heard about this course from their district leaders. And so that's our best promotion tool, is our district leaders to share these. I know in Zone 22 in Africa, they have the highest usage out of anybody. And really what helped there was a past director, Yinka, was able to promote the courses, and they did a lot of requiring courses before coming to PETS and District Training Assembly. They said, you must complete these courses before attending this seminar. And so that helps a lot as well. But I'm also open if anybody has any ideas, because we're trying to constantly get more people in there. One of our challenges currently is that clubs don't enter their club officers into our database. And this year, because these courses are required for presidents, secretaries, and treasurers, anytime a new incoming club officer gets added to our database, we send an automated email that says, welcome to your role. Here are the courses that can help you prepare. So if we can get more clubs reporting their members earlier, maybe we can get more people in the Learning Center that way.
Great, thanks for your insight, Kim. Monica, another question?
Yes, sorry. Thank you, Kim. Also, as a follow-up to getting more persons onto the Learning Center, I would just like to stress, as a current club president myself, is repeatedly reminding your members at meetings, and maybe having some of your meetings dedicated directly to the Learning Center. Those will help as well. Kim, what courses would you recommend for incoming leaders, for some of our president-elects and secretary-elects that's listening on here, what courses would you recommend that they take before coming to PETS?
Yeah, so for sure, club president should take the club president basics before PETS. That's a 10-course series. And then afterwards, they can take these club president intermediate. It's kind of some additional courses. We can look at the club secretary basics here. Every one of these role-based learning plans starts with this. We have the getting started with the Learning Center course, because if you directly get to this page, we want to make sure you know how to use the site. But then every course starts with this get ready, and it's very specific to your role. So that's a really important course. And then some of these other courses are in multiple learning plans. So we want to make it transparent for all club officers to know what everybody's role is and what everybody's doing. So this managing club business and working with your club leadership team are really great. Have a lot of information. And then minimizing risk. And one of the things I just want to say about this content, when I've been at Rotary now for 18 years. So when I started here, our team had 33 PDF documents that we would physically print, and we would have them designed, and we could only touch them every 3 years. So the minute they were printed, they were out of date, because our board and our trustees meet 4 times a year. But we couldn't do anything about that. So you would get this information, it was out of date. Here, I'm able to, the board is meeting this week. If they make some policy changes that are take effect in 1 July, we can start working on the content to update it and publish it on 1 July. We have a lot more control over this content than we did over our PDF documents. And so this is really up-to-date information with some best practices from our action plan. And so even I had a club secretary who was been in the role for like 20 years, and he took these courses and he said how much he learned. Right? Because we get into these ruts that we're just doing things the way we've always done them. But these courses really give some new, fresh ideas. So I highly recommend taking them and seeing what you can learn from them.
Great. Thank you. Yes. And as you said, it is great information for even secretaries and presidents that are repeating. So all of you in 7020 that's coming to PETS, please remember to visit the Learning Center before our district conference, which starts on the 28th of April. And now, Leah, do you have 1 or 2 other questions?
Thanks, Monica. To piggyback on what Kim was just discussing, there's a question I think ties in great here from the Q&A, so I'll bring it in now so she doesn't have to come back to it later. And the person, Stephen, is asking, how frequently are courses updated? I know you just mentioned in terms of the flexibility you have now. So Kim, if you could just go into a bit more detail as to if you have like time frames as it relates to the frequency of the updating.
Yeah, we try to update our courses at least every 3 years. But like I said, if policies are changing, we will update them. For example, we are in the process of updating managing club business. That's going to get posted. But we also anticipate that after the council on legislation, we're going to have to update that course again. And so a few months after the council happens, we'll be able to get some updated content. So again, if a policy is changing that impacts our courses, we will do our best to get those updated. Grant management seminar is one of those. The policy around grants can change quite frequently. So when we update the content in those 10 courses, whichever piece of content we update, we'll add to our grant management recertification course. So it's very focused on what's been updated. So you have the latest policy information when you go back to recertify. So that's kind of how we look at it.
Great, thanks so much. Monica, back to you.
Yes, we have a question here. Is the Rotary Learning Center accessible through Club Runner?
I don't believe so. And district leaders, you can confirm this. And unless Club Runner offers a link to rotary.org/learn, you still have to sign in through My Rotary to get to the Learning Center.
It is
Thank
not
you, Kim.
accessible.
Yes, I can answer that as well. Or I think, DG David, I'll let you go ahead.
Yes, thank you. It is unfortunately not accessible as a direct click-through. You do have to go in and do a separate login.
Thank you. Another person wanted to find out who in my club can check to see what courses members have completed.
Mhm. Yeah, so we do give access to Learning Center reports for our district and regional leaders. So your governor line and your district Rotary Foundation Committee chair, your district learning facilitator, and your district membership chair can access those reports. And so you can go to them and request that they send you a list of members from your club that have completed reports. I think that's the way to go. And I know a few people on this call do have access to those reports currently.
Thank you, Kim. Yes, we were talking about that earlier, and I know DG David gets a report. I get a report. Leah, I think, does get a report for her district. So we do have several persons that gets the reports weekly or monthly. So you talked about locating how to locate updated webinars already. But do you mind just reminding us of that?
Yes. So webinars, we have a webinars page on My Rotary here. And so if we have webinars, we don't always have webinars available, but if we do have them available, where did it go? It is on My Rotary. There is a tab on the menu under Knowledge and Resources. You can go to Webinars. And so here you can see we have one coming up at the end of the month on storytelling, and then in May, Becoming a Champion for Youth. So this is the page where you can register for those. And then you can always go to the on demand. So once the webinar is completed, if you wanted to view a prior webinar, we have quite a number of them. I highly recommend, if you haven't seen our webinar on Rotary's Culture Shift from Training to Learning, you check that out. That is something we are actively working on. But that's our webinars.
Thank you. Yes, that webinar from Training to Learning is great. I did go through that. So anyone that have a chance, please be sure to go and check out that webinar.
It is
Also,
available in French as well. This one here, French.
great. Wonderful. Thank you. Kim, I know you showed us how to where to find our certificates once we've completed a course and how to print them. I think you showed us how to print them one by one. Is there a way for us to print all the certificates at once or download all our certificates at once?
Unfortunately, no, you do have to do it one by one.
Individually.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay, do we have, Leah, do we have any more questions in the Q&A?
I do seem to have another question about new courses. So when you go into this catalog here, there may be a new in the corner of these. I don't think we have any new ones right now, but it would show up in the corner, and you can also filter well, yeah. That's the only only way you can see new courses. But honestly, if you follow us on Facebook, or if you sign up for our newsletter called Learning in Action, you can get updates on which courses have been updated or which courses are new.
Okay, great. Thanks, Kim. A few more questions from the Q&A box. We had a couple persons, Paul and John, asking about new Rotarians and where you would recommend them starting on the Learning Center. What courses should they start with to build up heading into other learning?
Yeah, so we have this catalog about Rotary, and this is where you're going to find a learning plan called New Member Basics. This is a 5-course series, soon to be 6 courses. But this will go over Rotary basics, foundation basics, our action plan, and our commitment to diversity, equity, and inclusion. And I hope to soon I will have a course called The Importance of Eradicating Polio, which I'll add here as well.
Fantastic. Thanks so much, Kim. There are a couple more questions in the Q&A box. I'll just do one more, Monica, and then you can take a couple as well. We have a few from the Rotaract perspective in terms of how can Rotaract use the Learning Center to excel, and if there are any specific courses as it relates to Rotaractors.
If you're a district Rotaract representative, we do have a courses for you. But like I said, everything is really included everywhere else. I know we have a Rotaract handbook, and we just did a comprehensive review of that handbook, and we've decided to get rid of it because a lot of the content already lives in other courses. For example, there's content around creating a new club for Rotaract, and that's the same process for Rotarians. And so creating new clubs or starting a club is a course that Rotaractors can take. I would also recommend learning topics. We have a learning topic for Rotaractors. So I'm just going to go in the back end so it's easier for me to find. But Rotaract resources, you can contribute here. We don't have a lot of contributions, but if you had things to share, videos or materials, feel free to come in here and upload them, and you can talk with other Rotaractors as well.
Great, thanks, Kim. Monica, you want to take a couple of questions from the Q&A box?
Certainly. Thank you, Leah. We have a question from Michael Tarilange. How can a club trainer organize their club's curricula for all of the various club leaders?
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, we've done it for you. So just getting them to take these series of courses, and then if you think that there's something else they should take because it's relevant to your region, you can always ask them to take a specific course in addition to that. Yeah, I think also depending on what members are looking for, if members are looking for more professional development, so you can take a look at all our offerings here to see if there's something, like if change needs to happen in your club, maybe you might want to make sure everybody's taking that Rotary's Change Model course. So you can kind of look at all of the options we have available here. If you want to start a mentoring club, a mentor program in your club, you can take a look at this mentoring basics. So really take a look at all the individual courses as well to see if there's something additional that you'd like to work on or your leaders would like to work on.
Okay, we have one from Dennis Chong, which I'm going to answer first, and then I'll let you answer afterwards, Kim, as the RLI director for our district, and Dennis is from our district. He says, his question is the Learning Center a replacement for the RLI, Rotary Leadership Institute? Rotarian Dennis? No, it's not. We will still continue with RLI training sessions. The Learning Center has been around for years, but it's been enhanced and offers a lot more information now. And I'll turn it over to Kim to let her carry on.
Yeah, no, that's a great answer. In addition, like we don't have much insight into what happens with RLI. What I think RLI is really great for is getting people to be facilitators. But aside from that, I don't really know what curriculum you're all using. And some chapters of RLI might use the Learning Center a little bit, depending on what content they're trying to focus on. So it definitely does not replace that. And it doesn't replace in-person learning either, right? One of the things that the Learning Center should be is a starting point based on, we really start these courses based on code of policies. What does the code of policies say? What does the policy document say that a club president should do? That's where we're starting. And then we use the action plan to say, here's some best practices as club president. And from there, the in-person training should be more about what's happening in your specific area. You know, what's going on with membership? How's your public image in the area? And what do we need to focus on? And bringing those regional issues. And then hopefully, because you take these courses, you can get a little deeper into some of these topics. Like I've been to a couple of PETs where they've had sessions about what is the Rotary Foundation. But if you can get members to come here and take the Rotary Foundation Basics course, maybe you can have a more active session that's about how do we activate the foundation in our clubs. And then maybe there might be more participation as people have some kind of an awareness of what the foundation is about. So that's kind of how I see using this. It's another way of learning, and it's definitely doesn't replace all the other things. Hopefully it enhances it.
Thank you, Kim. Yeah, I think it should certainly be used as to enhance the knowledge of the incoming, especially incoming presidents and secretaries before going to their pets, so they can participate more fully. We have a question here from John Donald. Are there any plans to integrate the courses members in a club complete or the percent completion by members with the annual Rotary citation? Maybe, I don't know.
At this time, I don't think we have a plan for that because it would mean we'd have to update the technology, which is Rotary Club Central, to include that. And I don't think we can, it's hard to feed that information directly into the system. And so at this time, I don't see that as something that will be integrated, but could be something for the future.
Thank you. Ryan is asking, does the Rotary Learning Center have a section for standard templates to be used for clubs in the district?
You're going to want to get templates from the brand center. You know, if you want to have a flyer or a brochure, I would definitely recommend going to the Rotary Brand Center for that. But if anybody has templates, they could upload them to the learning topics and you might find something there. I have not seen a lot of templates. Most of the things that are uploaded are content related.
Okay, thank you. We have another one from John. He's asking, are all the courses available to all members or are some only for club officers?
So this homepage here, if we look at this, all of these, this is the member view. And so all of the courses here are available to all members. However, if you created a My Rotary account and it's not attached to your club, you're only going to see 3 of these colored boxes that are going to have completely different titles because they're for our non-members. And we wanted to simplify the experience for our non-members, but that's really going to quickly tell you you're in the wrong place and you might not have access to everything you need. So you would just send an email to learn@rotary.org and we can help you fix that.
Thank you. Leah, you want to?
Thanks, Monica. We're winding down. We just have 2 more questions to go, and then we'll head out into our closing remarks. So last question. Well, we have another question from John. How should a club or district encourage or incentivize members, especially the club leaders, to complete the necessary courses? I know you touched on that earlier, Kim, but if you don't mind reiterating that for us, please, just in case anyone missed it.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of people do different things that they just flat out require them and say you cannot attend these sessions unless you have completed them. I've seen people do raffles. So the district might put your name in a raffle if you've completed all your courses. And so, yeah, there's different ways. There's also, let me think about this. So we have started to create discussion guides. So so I'm gonna the one we have out there right now, the first one that we've created is in the Preventing and Addressing Harassment course. And so as we're doing our culture shift from training to learning, we also now have the option for clubs to assign a club learning facilitator as a role. And so one way to get members to complete these courses is to ask them to complete this course and then come back at another time, specific time to a meeting and have a discussion. So this discussion guide will be for the club learning facilitator or anybody who wants to run a discussion on this. Even if you wanted to use this as part of your president-elect training seminar. If you've taken this course, we're going to have a more detailed discussion on this. So we have like what they should do before. The facilitator has some questions here, and this is more written for if this is an individual club. So like determining what your club wants to do next. And then in this one, we happen to have the code of policies outlined just for reference. So this is one way you can try to engage members in these courses. And we're coming up with more of these in the next few months. So you can look out for that. But those will be in the additional resources if you wanted to engage a group of people.
Great, that's awesome, Kim. I've also seen clubs use that not necessarily for a discussion, but I guess it ends up being a discussion, but in their club games. So they create teams or houses within the club, and then they use a particular topic or a course in the Learning Center. They assign that to the various teams and they say, okay, you have to make a presentation or you have to come and do a learning course on this, and then that's judged. So the winner gets points for their house and that sort of thing. So they make it a bit more competitive, a fun competition, but competitive nonetheless. And we know how persons get when stakes are up for grabs. So that's also another idea. It's just about making it fun and creative and working with the culture in your club, I think.
Absolutely.
Okay, our last question of the evening, and thank you all so much for your wonderful, insightful questions. Which courses specifically would you recommend for an incoming treasurer? And that's from Randisha. I hope I pronounced that correctly.
Yeah, I would definitely recommend the Club Treasurer Basics Learning Plan, specifically the first 3 again. Get Ready, Club Treasurer, Managing Club Business, And minimizing risk, I think, is also a really great one to review before you start your role. Yeah.
Okay, there you have it, folks. We've now come to the end of our Q&A segment. Once again, thank you so much for your questions and your patience as we went through all of them. We hope all were addressed. Kim did indicate if you do have additional questions, she put in the chat how to reach her, so you can take notes of that. We now invite PDG and incoming learning facilitator for District 7030, Sonia Aline, to grace us with some closing remarks. Sonia, over to you.
Thank you so much, Leah. And good evening, District Governor David, Kimberly, the rest of the panelists. Thank you so much. Fabulous, fabulous presentation on the Learning Center. As we transition Rotary from training to learning, Kimberly talked a lot. And as a past district governor, Kimberly, I learned a lot from you just in your presentation tonight. It's impossible for us to know everything, but we have this challenge, and we feel that everybody must spoon feed us the information, but it's our responsibility. This is our Rotary. So this is our responsibility to go and learn, go into that learning center. The courses are wonderful. I haven't done as many as Kimberly, but I have enjoyed all that I've done. And we talk about using the Learning Center to ensure that our presidents and our secretaries mandate that they go there before they come to pets. That is a critical tool. They and many of our presidents and secretaries now are new Rotarians. They don't have the information that some of the older ones have. And that Learning Center is a good place to find your mojo, as I call it. It's important that we insist as learning facilitators within our districts, that we insist on these courses being done, but also encouraging our clubs to go to the Learning Center, encouraging all our members, new members, old members, because I know old members say, "But I know it all. I don't need to go to that Learning Center." But it changes all the time. And tonight is a great example of why we have to keep at it. Keep talking about the Learning Center and what Rotarians should be doing. And the resource that Kimberly is to us, reach out to her, reach out to your district leaders, find the people that can help you navigate the Learning Center. I have found it to be an amazing tool, and I look forward to many more courses coming online. And to us in our districts, 70-30 and the great 70-20, according to DG David, that we make ourselves at that top of the ranking. It's so important to know. And when you know, that is the strength of Rotary. Thank you all for this session tonight. I am happy that I did sign up, and I'm happy that I got the opportunity to say publicly that the Rotary Learning Center is truly a magnificent tool. Thank you so much. And I turn it back over to Leah and Monica. Thank you.
Okay, everyone, we have come to the end of our session. It was a wonderful session. I don't think I need to say anything else. Everything was said. So until next time, it is the beginning of a series of similar events. So keep looking out for notices. Check on the social media pages for your district, for RI, etc., where these are posted, so you can join us again for next session or upcoming session. Have a fantastic night, everyone.